Hello, here we are getting down to business once again with the Chris versus dauT best of 21, and this is currently game 10, so we're kind of halfway through already, and things are really not looking good for Chris at the moment. He is trailing by 3 games, 6 games to dauT and 3 games to Chris, so he has got some to catch up, and if he loses this, then it's really not going to be good for Chris, to be honest. He needs to really sort it out in a sense. And today we're on the Nomad map. Nomad is always quite fun because obviously you never know where your opponent might be, and you've also got a lot of map to be explored as well. And these guys are kicking it off with a town centre each by the looks of it. Let's see where Chris is. Not quite sure where he is yet. He's not actually building a town centre yet by the looks of things. I'll turn Fog of War on so I can get a better idea of where he's at and see what he's doing. He's building a town centre over here, yeah. And dauT is going to gain a nice early advantage, I think, here, because he's already got a dock out here, so he's going to get fish nice and early, and he's going to be able to explore with this villager and the sheep that he collects across the map as well. Both these guys playing as Persians, usual colours, dauT is red and Chris as green. Turn Fog of War off again for a second then, and we can see where these guys are positioned on the map. Now, I think really a lot of land nomad games are really very much down to luck with where you actually start and where you put your town centre down. Now obviously you can't afford to scout around the map loads before you actually build your town centre, because you're wasting precious time if you don't do that. However, if you do look around and get an idea of where you're at, you might be in a better situation. For instance, in this case, all of the gold is towards the north of the map, and now just look how much gold is up here. It's just all the gold is up towards the north of the map, and down to the very south there is one gold camp. So both of these guys are probably going to be fighting it out for this gold at the top here, and we could be seeing a lot of conflict for this gold. Now obviously if one person manages to secure it all, then they're going to be in such a good position for this. Also, dauT, I know for a fact that dauT is pretty damn good at land nomad. Oh, sorry, nomad even. Or land nomad for that matter. He is pretty damn good, and I'm not sure about Chris. I'm not really seeing him play nomad before, so we'll have to see how he does. dauT has already got a fishing ship out on the water, and dauT's economy is going to be so good if he manages to keep these fishing ships coming out. Finally, actually, a fishing dock, for Chris, and these guys are probably going to be fighting it out on the water as well if they can. Water control is kind of not so necessary in this, I think. It really depends because of the placement of resources on the map, so it's going to be interesting to see what these guys go for. We could see fast castle knights, as Persians do have good knights, and Persians actually do have quite good tech trees as well. They have heavy cavalry archers. They have good units from pretty much everywhere, so Persians are actually a pretty good civilization. Also, if you didn't know this, another little tip, trick, trivia, or whatever you want to call it, fishing ships, they gather really fast from deep sea fish. I think it's the fastest food source in the game. However, if you get fishing ships to gather from shore fish, it becomes the slowest source of food in the game. If you actually have a fishing ship gathering from shore fish, they actually gather slower than villagers do from berries. So that's always important to bear in mind. So it's always worth having your fishing ships go for the larger fish, even if they're further away than shore fish. Makes sense, guys. Okay, so dauT with some, plenty of wood actually. You need plenty of wood in nomad because you don't start with very much. Of course, you've got to build your own town centre, and let's have a look at what you can see, because exploration is really important with this, and dauT's score is quite high, and I think that's mainly because of his exploration so far. He's using his sheep to explore. He's found this gold up here, he's found this gold here. He knows this is going to be a good area to get unless he finds any gold closer by. And of course, building your town centre to trees is really important as well. And is he going to be housed? Yeah, dauT's actually housed there. I'm surprised at that, to be honest. A little bit surprising. Maybe he didn't anticipate his dock or something. He's already got 4 fishing ships out, which is actually quite a lot already. Usually when we watch games with water, you usually only see 3 ships before feudal age. However, it's always a slower start in land nomad, because obviously you've got to take into consideration the time to build your town centre at the start, the time to find your resources and all that. So it's really important that you scout where you can and find your resources where you can as well. Even scouting with a villager here, as you can see. Gonna kill this deer. That's obviously not a useful place because the deer is very far away, but that villager's gonna kill that deer off anyway. And his main source of food now is these ships, and it's really important that he gets plenty of ships on the water because he doesn't have that much food near to him actually. He has got a couple of sheeps around. He knows that there's some sheep over here, I think. Yeah, there's a couple of sheep here. But yeah, for the time being, he's only got one sheep left. So really important that he does get plenty of fishing ships out to keep that food income coming in. Chris then is also doing a fair amount of scouting, and it's so hard to see him on the map because the green and his green, and as you can see, a lot of ships for him as well. 6 ships for Chris, and dauT is on 6. Oh no, he's not. He's on 5. So Chris is actually a little bit further ahead with his ships here, but he did get the dock up later, so that's a bit funny. Chris has found a boar though, and that's really useful. Getting up to the feudal age as fast as you can, really important because you're going to want to be able to apply that pressure on your opponent as fast as you can. Of course, you also have no idea where on earth they are. You don't start with a scout or anything. So again, using your sheep to scout, you kind of gain an idea of where your opponent might be at. And Chris might have an idea where dauT is. He's got a house here, so he's got to have had a villager close by, and he's got to know, perhaps, that dauT is close. Of course, if dauT goes past that house with a villager, then Chris is going to be able to see what's going on, and he's going to know exactly where dauT is. I don't know for sure if Chris knows though, however he might be likely to find out very soon as dauT is close to building near this house. In fact, I don't even know if dauT knows it's there. He's got to know, sure, no, dauT doesn't even know that house is there, so pretty interesting. These guys are building houses all over the place, quite close to each other, and neither of them have any idea that they are both there, so pretty interesting. So as you can see, quite a lot of fishing ships on the water, trying to get up to that food count, but look how many more ships Chris has got right here. Let's look at the economy real quick. Oh, we can't see, that's annoying. Damn. Well, dauT has got quite a few less ships by the looks of it. It looks like Chris has actually got more, and that's really going to help Chris out getting up to the feudal age. If we look at how much food he's got, he's almost on 400, and dauT is only on 100 right now, so dauT is falling quite far behind with the food count here, and that is not so good. Of course, dauT does know that Chris's house is here, and has Chris seen dauT's house there? Yeah, he has now, so he's going to have an idea about where dauT is, and well, actually, no, maybe he's not, because it's not showing up on the mini-map, although it is visible, so Chris might know where dauT is. We'll have to find out. dauT's score, though, is really rocking right now. He's got 30 population, and Chris is only on 27. However, Chris is already up to the feudal age, and he's going to be able to pump out those fishing ships whilst he's advancing up. I don't know if he's going to go build any galleys or not. He's going to assume that dauT has taken some water, and as you can see, going very heavily into wood right now to get some farms out and perhaps get some more fishing ships and more docks as well. This villager going over to this gold camp down here. Pretty interesting. Chris kind of making a mistake there. Should bring that villager back to this gold mine, because that's going to walk all the way back to the town centre, which is just wasting villager time. Not good. However, Chris does have this gold down here, which is quite interesting. That's very much out the way. dauT knows about this gold up here, though. So dauT looks to me like he's going to have a good advantage up here, because Chris doesn't know about all this gold up here. He knows that there's some gold here, and he's still scouting around with this villager. But dauT is taking this gold first, and dauT should, in theory, have an advantage because of this. I'm going to speed things up a little bit now whilst these guys get up to the feudal age and stuff. A second dock there for dauT, and dauT is really far ahead at the moment in score. Chris has got his second or third even dock up, so he is now able to produce galleys, and if he finds dauT, there we go, this is really big for dauT now. dauT is going to lose so many fishing ships. He's far from feudal, and there's no way he's going to be able to get out enough galleys from this one dock to combat the amount of galleys that are coming out from Chris here. So Chris is in a really nice situation. He's going to really screw up dauT's economy right here as well, and dauT is not looking so good right here. Even though dauT has got a score lead still, that will not stay for very long if Chris manages to get this harassment in. However, Chris doesn't know about dauT's little dock down here, and dauT has gone for 4 docks down here, and he is going to go mass galleys now to really combat the the galleys from Chris. Chris might get a bit complacent. He's going to think, well, actually, I've taken out most of his ships. I'll probably be alright. But he's probably not going to expect 4 docks from dauT right now. And dauT is going to be able to sustain that because he has got a lot of woodcutters. He's already got bitaxe, I think. It would surprise me if he didn't have bitaxe. It would be the time to get it. And yeah, so dauT is looking in quite a nice position. Even though he has lost all of these ships, he might want to coax Chris over to his own corner of the map so that he can get him off guard. And here we go now with the galleys from dauT going over towards Chris's side of the map, and this could be really big for Chris, for dauT even. If he gets this blacksmith up, gets the fletching upgrade so he gets +1 attack on his ships. I don't even know if Chris has got a blacksmith at the moment. His is not actually up yet, so dauT will be able to dominate the water if he does get enough galleys out. And Chris too, masses of wood right here, and wood is so vitally important. 44 population for Chris, 38 for dauT. So Chris has actually taken the lead here. Taking out all of those fishing ships really proved a crucial move for Chris. But I don't know if Chris is going to anticipate dauT coming from this direction, because dauT is going to move out really soon with these galleys, and he's going to see this gold here. This gold is so exposed to galley fire, and if Chris loses the water in this position, then he's going to be so screwed over, because his other options for gold are up here, and quite frankly, dauT is going to have this area locked down before long, because this is a really important area of the map with all this gold up here. So these galleys now running into the galleys of Chris, and Chris is going to lose these by the looks of it. No chance of those surviving. Pardon me. And now Chris knows that dauT has got the +1. He's also just got his +1 as well. It's so hard to find where all the buildings are in Nomad because they're all spread out all over the place. There it is. There's his blacksmith in a really logical position, of course. And this is getting really good now because he's going for a land attack. He's got plenty of docks out, and he's got plenty of galleys on the water. It could be very possible that Chris loses water here because dauT has got more docks to produce galleys, but dauT doesn't have any defenses at all. He doesn't have a barracks yet, and Chris has already got 2 archery ranges up, and he's going to be producing archers to try and harass this wood. So if Chris manages to get the harassment in, then he's going to be in a really nice situation right here. Fletching already upgraded for him as well, so he could be in such a good situation. If he goes for this gold up here, then he's going to be able to harass all of those villagers. And if he goes for the wood as well, then he too is going to be able to do a hell of a lot of damage. Gonna get out of the way of that town centre though. It's on a hill. It will kill him if he gets in the way. Gonna harass this wood here, and I'm a little bit surprised really that Chris is going for this wood. It would make more sense to go for these gold over here. Maybe he doesn't realise. Not 100% sure. Here we go as well with a scuffle on the water. dauT is clearly outnumbering Chris here. Well, actually, no. Yeah, he is outnumbering Chris. And Chris needs to be careful because he will get cut to bits by those galleys. If he does produce some more from his docks, though, he might be safe. But it looks to me like he's going to focus on a land attack right here with a watchtower going up in this position, which is in a really nice place because that might even be in range of the town centre. Not that that's so crucial. dauT, of course, forced to wall off this area here because... I'm going to turn Fog of War off for a bit because he knows that if Chris gets through here, these villagers collecting gold are just going to be completely decimated. And as we can see, Chris going around the back. Now, if Chris gets close to this wood, dauT is going to be in such a bad situation. He's got enough wood, he's got enough stone even for a watchtower, but forcing him to build a watchtower is really not a good thing. This watchtower just out of sight, and he doesn't know it's there, but he's about to, because when that springs up, it's going to show up on his little map, and he is gonna get, there we go, a little bit of harassment coming in. I don't know if they're actually in range of each other. The watchtower obviously has more range, so he could even do some harassment to that town centre right there. Really not pretty for dauT. However, dauT has regained water control by the looks of things. Yeah, he has. He's got plenty of fish on the water, and Chris has lost all of his fishing ships and all of his galleys, apart from these down here, and they're about to die pretty soon, I think. And actually, no, Chris has got some galleys, but they are clearly outnumbered, and because he's switched to land now, and forcing dauT to react on the land side of things, Chris is in a not such a good position because he has lost water, and water is pretty crucial. But here we go, a really big push over here for Chris, and dauT having to throw up a watchtower. Didn't consider the fact that Chris might have raided from another direction, and Chris going to take out this watchtower, and that's going to be really, really bad for dauT because he's just wasted all that stone and he's left this area completely unguarded. So this watchtower is going to go down by looks of things, unless you can get the repairs on it. I don't know. It would be very surprising if he manages to keep this up with the amount of villagers that Chris has attacking the base of that. And if he loses that and Chris manages to secure this area, then dauT is going to be in a bit of a bad spot because Chris he's got to have gold. Yeah, he has got gold up here. I was going to say, this gold has been taken out, unfortunately. He did lose water, so Chris did lose this gold to harassment, but he has got plenty of gold miners up here, and he is in a nice position. Unfortunately, though, it doesn't look like he has been able to take out this watchtower, and although Chris has done some harassment to it, dauT has managed to keep that up, and it looks like Chris is going to lose these villagers here, which is also not so good. Looking at the population, we've got 66 for dauT and 58 for Chris, so Chris is once again falling behind, and there's so much going on so many different fronts right here. Chris has got 4 archery ranges right now. Don't know what he's going to be producing. Perhaps archers and skirmishes, a mix of the two. It would make sense to go skirmishes as well, as dauT is going to get some skirmishes up here. And we have another scuffle going down on the south of the map right here. And looks like Chris is going to lose that archer. Lone Wolf going to try and take out that villager, actually. If he does do that, then that's going to be a minor victory before he dies. And go on, one shot, there we go. And there we go, that archer is dead. Fishing ships completely annihilated for Chris then, and it's not looking good right now. Chris is keeping the pressure on, but dauT, with the water control, could use this to his advantage, and if dauT manages to get close to the shore, he might be able to do some harassment with his galleys. I'm not sure how much harassment he's going to be able to do. Chris is fairly inland, but dauT, of course, is going to have all of these extra fishing boats on the water, which is going to allow him to get that extra food boost that he needs, and he is going to use that to his advantage, I'm sure. It could go either way at the moment, though. Chris has got a fairly large land force. And he has managed to put some harassment onto dauT. However, dauT has managed to keep this gold. He doesn't have as many villagers there as he probably would like. Compared to Chris, Chris is going very heavily into gold right now, and he's got plenty of wood as well. So Chris can afford to go mass archers, and that is exactly what he's doing. 3 archers being produced at each archery range right now. Perhaps this one might even come into use if he has the excess resource to do so. So Chris could be in a really nice position if he can get the harassment in. However, if dauT manages to hold him off for the time being, then dauT too is going to be in a nicer position as well. So at the moment, as I say, it could go either way. Chris still has these galleys though, and that's really surprising, although I'm sure they aren't going to last too long, as dauT has a hell of a lot more galleys on the water than Chris does. So here we go, Chris coming in now, and he needs to get into the base of this watchtower so he doesn't lose all of his units to the watchtower fire, and Chris kind of a bit careless there, throwing away a lot of units. These villagers having to come in and join the fight, but dauT is losing villagers here as well, so it's not so good. However, dauT has got the high ground, so he's got the attack advantage, and Chris is not looking in a good position right here. He might be able to take out some of these skirmishers, but overall it looks to me like Chris is going to lose these soldiers, and that's not good because that is a lot of resources lost for him. And as you can see in the scores, he's now dropped behind by 500 points. So although he has a lot of gold coming in, and although he had a lot of units on the map, he really played that quite badly. dauT really just defended that well. He used the high ground to his advantage. These skirmishes on the high ground absolutely killing these archers, and this watchtower as well, nicely placed to protect all of his wood camps as well. So dauT looking in a very nice situation right now. He's got water control, he's got firm control of his base, the harassment isn't too much of a problem for him, and he's dealing with this threat over here as well. So dauT is in a nice position. If he can get up to the castle age, then he's going to be in. He's just going to be laughing if he gets up to the castle age. He'll be able to get out some knights. He'll be able to upgrade to elite skirmisher, and Chris's army is just going to be absolutely useless. dauT as well. Looking at this, look at all of his resource right here. We could be seeing a castle age from him pretty soon. If he gets a market up and perhaps buys some food, I don't know if that's really going to be a possibility. It could happen, but at the moment it looks like he's producing archers, skirmishes. He's got plenty queued up. He's got another archery range on the way, and now dauT is going to start to press home his advantage, I think, right here. He's got all the upgrades he needs. He's got the... Actually, no, he hasn't. He's not got the archer upgrade.
Chris has got the archer upgrade, but dauT hasn't. And here we go, now dauT fighting uphill, and dauT is not one for fighting uphill. He doesn't want to get caught out here, as he is outnumbered, so he does need to take that hill advantage, and he's just going to sit on this hill right here and protect himself while he goes up to the Castle Age, I think. There's not a lot he can do fighting against this hill right here, especially with the numbers that Chris has. If Chris can quickly get up to the Castle Age now, though, upgrade to Crossbowman and get some mangonels out, then Chris is going to be in such a nice position. It's just unfortunate, really, that Chris is not able to do the harassment now. So here we go, dauT pushing out a little bit. He isn't in a good position here, though. He doesn't have the armor upgrades that he needs, and he is fighting up a hill, so he needs to be really careful, lure Chris in and kill him off as he comes in. And I think dauT is going to go castle pretty soon. He's just going to hold this off for the time being, stay inside of his base, and then perhaps go castle and build a castle. Look at all that stone he's got right there. He's either going to go for a massive boom, or he's going to build a castle as soon as he gets into the Castle Age. Can't say 100% right yet, but that's a hell of a lot of stone he's going for. He could either go for a lot of watchtowers, or he could go for a big boom with that, or he could even go for a castle. It's going to be hard to say, but he just needs a bit of extra food and he can advance up there. This watchtower, maybe a little bit far away. I think it's just going to be in range to actually attack some of these villagers, and that's really not good for dauT. dauT is really getting sort of cornered here, and Chris even does have the map control. You can tell I'm getting tired calling him Orcus, and oh, this is not good right here for dauT. dauT's going to lose these villagers here, and if he gets this watchtower up, he could be in a better situation, but Chris is pushing home his advantage here in this area of the map, and dauT needs to get out of the way and get this tower up so that he can defend himself. Of course, this tower is useless as it can't attack these archers when they're so close. He might just get this tower up in time. Go on, get the tower up. Go on, dauT. You can do it. 94, go on. No. Is he going to get this tower up? If he gets that up, then this gold is secure. But if he doesn't, then it's a really big loss for dauT, as he has no gold income at all if he loses this watchtower. Really unlucky. Oh. Chris, what an amazing move right there. He's secured this gold pretty much completely, and there's no way that dauT is going to be able to gather any gold at all now. So dauT is really stuck. He needs to save this gold until he gets to the Castle Age, and this is really big actually. Losing this gold here is massive. Obviously Chris now has all the gold he wants up here, and dauT has no gold income whatsoever at this stage in the game. dauT has managed to mass a pretty impressive force right here. A hell of a lot of skirmishes and archers right there, and throwing up another watchtower right here to combat this. Of course, the best way to combat a watchtower attack is to build your own watchtower in defense. So that is exactly what he's doing. Market going up for dauT as well, where he needs to keep some gold coming in. It looks to me like he's going to go for the Castle Age pretty quickly, and he just needs to defend himself, and then he needs to reclaim this gold. It's going to be really hard, however, as Chris is coming in at the back with these archers. dauT does know he's going to be coming in from that direction, though. I'm sure he knows it. And in fact, Chris could even get some more kills right here, and it could be very possible indeed that he does. Chris gonna have to retreat away from that area, but dauT running across the map with these villagers, he is going to be able to get safe on this gold over here, and it looks to me like dauT is going to go and get himself a little advantage. But here we go, Chris using this to his advantage right now, because dauT has left his base completely unattended, and Chris coming straight in with all of his force into the open arms of dauT's base, and dauT is going to get villagers lost here left, right and center, because these villagers have got nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. Oh, Chris forcing dauT back to his base then, and luckily enough dauT just manages to get this watchtower up, can secure this gold for the time being. And look at this, Chris just killing off so many villagers, killing off so many men, and he is surely got a bit of a lead. Well, not a lead, but he's clawed back some kind of advantage from this. Is Chris going up to the Castle Age? No, he's not, and dauT is going to definitely get there first. And if dauT manages to get up to the Castle Age first, then he's going to be in a really nice situation, because now he's got this gold secured again, he's going to be able to get some knights out, and he will tear through this army if he can get out enough units in time. Look how much wood he's got, though. He's got a hell of a lot of wood right here, and he needs to probably sell off some of that and maybe buy some food, or just even get a bit more gold. He is close to 650 stone though, so we could even see a castle from him. And there we go, a stable going up as well, so he's definitely going to go for some knights as soon as he gets into the castle age. He really needs to get the pressure on now, because dauT is, although he's got a stronger economy and is advancing up to the castle age, he's definitely got less army than Chris at this stage in the game, so he needs to take out this army as fast as he can. Just going to speed things up a little bit for the time being, and let's see what he's actually doing. There we go, stable going up. Is he making knights? Not yet, but he is probably going to upgrade to crossbowman. Nope, he's upgrading to elite skirmisher. It wouldn't surprise me if we see crossbowman though coming out fairly soon. He has got a fair few archers there, so crossbowman would be worthwhile. He's got a stable ready just so he can get out those knights if he needs to, and also he has got enough stone for a castle right now, so if he can push out, here we go, elite skirmishers upgraded, so he could have a really good chance of winning this battle here. If he wins this battle, pushes out, and then builds a castle on this hill, it's definitely going to be GG for Chris. But is Chris advancing up to the castle age? Yes, he is. So dauT has got a really small time window here. He's upgraded to crossbowman as well. A really big battle on this hill right here. Unfortunately for Chris, he is facing an out-teched army. However, dauT is fighting uphill, so it's probably neck and neck right now, and it's really hard to see who's going to win this. dauT is losing a lot of men fighting uphill, and this is really bad. If dauT loses this, then Chris is going to be in a really nice situation. Chris has just got this watchtower up on the hill, and dauT could lose so many men right here. He's got to retreat. He's got to get back. He's not going to be able to fight on this hill. He's not going to be able to do it. He needs to get out of there. Chris reinforcing this area. This hill has been so crucial for Chris right here. If he wasn't on that hill, he would have definitely lost that fight right there, and even forcing the battering ram back as well. So Chris really looking strong on that hill. Also just about to advance up to the castle age. There we go, Chris now into the castle. He's going to obviously upgrade to elite skirmishers and crossbowmen as well. That's got to be happening soon, otherwise he's going to lose this hill over time. Oh, wow, that was a really intense battle actually, and it's really hard to say who's in the lead right now. The scores would say that dauT is getting a really big advantage, and that's probably due to the fact that he's got so many galleys on the water and he's got such a large amount of fishing ships out there. However, on the land, it does look like Chris has still got the advantage, and Chris, where is your upgrades? Where are your upgrades? Ah, he's not going for archer upgrades. He's going for knights, and that is a pretty good choice to make. Knights, of course, going to be able to deal with mangonels and battering rams, and of course knights are going to be able to deal with elite skirmishes as well. So Chris could turn this in his favour if he does this, or plays this very carefully. He needs to be careful not to lose his knights. Knights are a really expensive unit, and you have to preserve them for as long as you can. Going to carry on camping on this hill though, and this battering ram might even have some luck and manage to take out these watchtowers. I almost called them town centres. And here we go, Chris going to get really in a bad position here. He's either going to have to lose these watchtowers or lose his army. It's one or the other, because these mangonels will absolutely kick those units into the ground. And dauT is now on top of the hill, and now dauT has claimed the hill. So this is looking bad for Chris. Having to bring the knights over here, I'm pretty sure he wanted to do some harassment in this location. Indeed, he is doing that, taking out a couple of villages there and stopping dauT's gold collection once again. But dauT is moving into Chris's base, and Chris needs to deal with this as fast as he can. Chris needs to take out the mangonels, and he needs to take out these crossbowmen, as the crossbowmen will really wreak havoc upon his army. So Chris needs to play this really carefully, falling really far behind in score again, and he can't take hits from mangonels like that. Really bad. And dauT wedging himself into this corner. Looks like dauT is going to win this battle again, and oh, dauT taking out so many units right there with these mangonels, and Chris pretty much just suiciding his whole army right there. Look at the scores right now as Chris is absolutely decimated here. These knights pretty much ineffective against these this attack, because the knights can't get in there to attack. They're going to get absolutely shredded if they just hang around. And as you can see, dauT is forcing himself into a corner so that Chris is just got nowhere to attack from. And as you can see, losing these knights here, and this is really bad for Chris right now. dauT pushing up the hill with these mangonels, and Chris knows it's over. He's good gamed it right there, and dauT has won it. And what a game that was. I mean, dauT, they didn't even get up to 2 town centres each. They were only just getting up their second town centre right there, and 41 minutes into the game, a pretty fun match to watch. dauT taking that though. I mean, I think the water control really helped him out. I mean, he managed to take out so many of Chris's ships, and of course he managed to get his own fishing ships out there as well to gather up some fish. So he had an extra economy boost early on. Unfortunately for Chris though, he lost this hill, and that hill was really important for him. If he'd have stayed on that hill and perhaps upgraded to skirmishes and crossbowmen, he would have had a better chance of winning that game. But his decision to go knights kind of cost him in a way, because he didn't get those tech advantages on his skirmishes and archers. So dauT took that one, and it's now what is it now? It's 7-3. So Chris is falling so far behind. 7-3. He's going to have to win 4 games in a row just to draw a level with dauT, so it's not looking promising for Chris right now. But remember, it is a best of 21, so the first person to get to 11 wins will win the series. Anyone could win at this stage still, but dauT is looking really strong. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I've been Zach, and I'll see you next time.